Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, July 20th. We're going to talk about recycling material today and how we can help the environment by using recycled materials in our home. And my friend Scott Bradley is with us from Carpet One. Good to have you here, Scott.
Paul.
And you know, we've been talking about environmentally friendly products, and you always amaze me when you come up with new products that really are environmentally friendly. And this is recycled glass and recycled aluminum.
Yes.
and you use this for what?
So these are decorative tiles, and typically they're used for backsplashes in a kitchen or shower walls or swimming pools.
Yeah. Now, what is the difference between the recycled glass and aluminum tiles compared to the non-recyclable ones?
So recycled glass, there's about 10 million tons a year that go into the landfills of just glass. And so they try to divert that and produce it into a thin, lightweight tile that would be suitable for wet areas and easy to clean, durable.
So instead of it going into the landfill, it can go into your kitchen backsplash, or it can go into your bathroom on the backsplash in the tub and so forth. It's not taking up space in the landfill. It's being put to good use. As far as producing this, is it less toxic on the environment than making new glass?
Yes. So it takes far less emissions to produce decorative tile from recycled glass and metal, aluminum.
Than it does to make.
Yeah, it does. It takes just less energy than if you were producing new glass.
So if somebody wants to install this, what do they ask for? They just come in and say, I want to use here, turn that so we can see a shot of it if you're looking on television. Do they just come in and say, hey, I want to get some of this recycled material that I heard you talking about?
Yep. So we basically sit down and ask a bunch of questions. And
it comes in all different styles and shapes.
Absolutely. There's really not a whole lot of limits on.
And is any of this good for the floor too?
So some of these that have a matte finish are acceptable for floors.
Okay.
But that's one thing that we verify for you is the appropriateness of the application, what you're wanting to use it for. That's why we ask so many questions.
Yeah. So keep in mind that if you go with something like this, you are helping the environment because you're using recycled material. And that's what we've been trying to get across all this time.
Yep, just trying to lessen my footprint as much as I can.
Thank you. Scott Bradley from Carpet One. You can give them a call if you want more information. And your number is?
It's 573-449-0081.
Okay. A good guy, my friend. I'm glad to know you. Thank you, Scott.
My friend. Thank you.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about something that a lot of people really don't like to think about, but it's important, and that is suicide. Arthur Trass is with us from Compass Health. I guess the first question I want to ask you is, how common is this? You see this as a problem with a lot of people?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And once again, thanks for having me, Paul. The statistics and the data bear it out, and I brought some to share with you that my role is suicide prevention, but also firearm safety. Okay, and because of those lethal means, the statistics show us that 3 out of every 5 deaths by suicide, are suicide deaths by firearm.
Because they're
Okay.
so accessible.
Because they're so accessible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And what we're trying to do is, as I was telling James and the other folks that I met in the lobby, we don't care. I'm about to make a joke, but it's also serious. We don't care if you own 30 AR-15s, Paul. We don't care about that. All we care about is if I'm suffering from some type of mental illness, if I have anxiety and depression, when I come to your home, are you going to ensure that those weapons and that ammunition is safe from me getting my hands on? So that's what we're trying to get across. There's where the firearm safety part comes into it, because with a lot of means, if I come upon you and say that you try to overdose on pills, there's a chance that I could still save your life. If I come upon you and maybe you're hanging from a beam or something like that, sorry about that, there's a chance that I could still save your life. But if you use a shotgun, or if you have access to some high caliber type weapon, then the chances of me helping you or the chances of me bringing you back quickly diminish.
Right.
Okay? And 64 Americans die by firearm suicide every day.
Every day?
Every day. Almost one death every 22 minutes.
By firearm suicide?
By firearm suicide. That's what our data shows. Give or take, of course, but yes, sir.
Yeah. What are the warning signs that someone that you love or care about is contemplating suicide?
The two biggest ones, Paul, I believe, transitions and loss. If I lose my job, if I lose my wife, if I lose my sibling, if somebody dies, if I go through a divorce, if one of the main reasons veterans contemplate suicide is, okay, I've been in the military for 20, 30 years. I've had 2 tours in Afghanistan or Iraq. Now I come back home. Who am I?
Yeah. Who am I? And do people appreciate me?
And do people appreciate me?
And sometimes those veterans who have given their all can't find a job and they can't find a place to live.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's not right.
Despicable. Despicable, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so if they're feeling that way, where do they turn? Oftentimes, they contemplate and they think about. So transitions, losses, if you start noticing folks doing something that's irregular or out of the norm for them, if you've known they've gone through some type of traumatic event, if they're struggling with substance use disorders, I mean, there's so many different ways.
Sometimes just illness. If you're dealing with illness that you have been plagued with for a long time.
Yes, sir.
There are so many things to watch out for. If you care about someone, if you love someone that you maybe contemplating, we're almost out of time. How do they get in touch with you?
They can call this number, they can go to that website, but I also want to give my personal number too, Paul, and that's 573-289-8362. But they can call that number, they can go to that website, and I can leave my information with you to share with others, and I'd love to come back.
573-886-6930.
Yes,
Thank you so much, and yes, we will get you back again.
Thank you
you so much for coming by. It's a serious subject we need to deal with. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.